Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. As I promised, I was going to do a few of these here for you and show you how they work and how they cut up and all this, these little ornaments that we were doing before. I did one of these already, and I'm trying something a little different with two different cameras, so I'm not sure which one will be better when I switch it into DVD or not. So let me do some experimentation. It's been a while since I've done anything, about a year. And so we did this one already, and I'll be loading this up in a few days here, in a couple of days. But I want to get the other one completed or painted. I don't have it right here. Oh, I have it right over here. Right there. Okay, that's what it looks like. And we got this one done. So now we're going to do this one here. And the one we're going to do is we're going to do one with eyes. Okay. If you don't want any eyes, you can put the lip a little bit lower and across, okay, just like that. And I have different ones that loop around the nose, or you can leave it the way it is. All right, so let me start with this, and we'll go with, let me grab a knife here somewhere. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get a 2.5 inch by 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, and once you have that cut out, they're 2.5 inches long. The grain is running up and down. Okay, and you have to be mindful when you're a beginner how the grain is running. Always, if you feel a tug on the knife, switch the knife around and go the other way. One of the things I usually do with all my carvings, whether it's the Santa or the candy cane Santa or whatever, I always establish where the hat's going to be and where the face is going to be, and the nose especially. So right now we're going to do this little guy here. We'll get close to it. It won't look exactly the same. These don't look exactly the same either. They never do for me. I can try to make one look a little bit different than the other, but this is what we're going to go with. All right, let me do something here. Let me see if I can get some of this brightness out of the light here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish a line all the way around. I would say it's about 3/4 of an inch from the top. And you want to, as we're going in, it will give you more of the top of the hat, where the brim of the hat's going to be. I kind of measured it a little bit together here with this one, as you can see. So let's start. All right, so this is basswood. Put your glove on and your thumb guard on if you have it. And so we're gonna do the corners. That's very important, the corners. And this one's gonna be draped a little differently in the back. It's gonna go all the way to the bottom. All right, all the way to the bottom. So you can use that little bit of solution that I use, the water and rubbing alcohol. If you want, that's fine. I was going to do it up higher, but I changed my mind. I thought I'll do it similar to what I already have here as a demo or a protocol that I can go by. And I've been telling you I've been using a little bit of the utility knife. I find that's kind of easier to use. So I'm going to mark my lines. You want to make your lines all the way across, and come down, just make a little bit of a curvature, and then match the other side. And then here, instead of going straight off, okay, you want to go a little bit from the bottom and then just cut that out. So you're going to follow that line a little bit with your knife from the bottom and cut it out, just like so. And then you go to these two lines here. Match these two sections here, and you match these two sections here. Now, if you're a beginner, the utility knife isn't always the best thing to use, I find, but I know there's people that carve beautiful stuff using a utility knife. It's keeping it sharp. So that's the hard part. Now, I can also use the tip of this to cut out do the stop cut here. The stop cut is simply where the cut's going to stop. And then you undercut it from the bottom up. You notice how I turn this around because the grain is going down this way. All right. And we'll cut this out. And we'll cut this one out. There's little variations of the color. This was just a piece I had around, but it's not going to make any difference. We're going to paint it anyway. You'll still see the wood grain in it, but you know, it will do. I also use a Rough Rider knife a lot. I like using it. I know I switch knives over the years, and you know, you have a favorite for a while, and then you switch it again. But okay, so that's what we have so far. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just round off the corners a little bit on either side of the face. And a little bit in the front. And just take that edge off at the very bottom. And this is going to be a Santa face, of course. So the next thing you want to do is you want to kind of establish where the bottom of the nose is going to be. So we're going to just kind of figure that out here. And yeah, I take a look at it. I like a little fat nose. I find fat noses, fat eyes, fat hat, fat tassels, they all kind of give it the cute factor. So I don't want to make it too skinny up here. You know, let's cut it across first. I know where I'm going to start there, and I'm going to go straight across. Notice how I'm pushing with my thumb, and I'm undercutting with the oh, whatchamacallit, with the edge of my thumb on the blade. That's how you control it, is using your thumb to pivot or push, pull down. This thumb is very useful for that, okay? So we're going to go a little deeper at each corner again, just a tad deeper. I'm going to leave that alone right now. I'm going to go a little deeper over here. Okay. And I'm going to spray it up a little bit. Let me do that for a second. Back here I use a combination of 50% water and 50% rubbing alcohol. And there is a chance it might check or crack on you when it dries. You don't want to dump it in a bucket of water or anything. You can, but about 2 out of 8, 2 out of 10, or 3 out of 10 is going to check on you if you're not careful. All right, so this is what we have. So I'm going to figure out where his nose is going to be. So I'm going to come out here a little bit, and I'm going to go around. Just like that, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing over here. It'll look the same, and then come up. I tried. It's very difficult, even for me, to get both sides to look exactly the same. It usually drives me crazy that I can't always do it. But same thing with eyes. You know, all that makes a difference. Now this has a little bit. These guys have really big eyes on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife. And I'm going to, I had another knife here. Okay. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go, see how I have it. This is the corner. This is how your knife is going to go in. If you go in at an angle, you're going to dig into your nose. So you want to make sure it's exactly in line with the corner. So you're going to go in kind of deep. All right. You're going to pull it down and go around to the bottom. Then you're going to go up to the eyeball, where the eyeball is going to go. And that's going to be a lot deeper. So you go ahead and do a deep stop cut there. And then it should just pop out. It should just pop out. It usually does. But I don't have my other knife here that I usually do that with. Okay. So you take that piece out. Okay, and then you kind of follow it around the nose a little bit. You follow it around the nose a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to round this off a little bit here at the corner, at the bottom. You do the same thing with the other side. We'll stop here for a second. All right, hang on, folks.